What's going on, guys? It's me. I don't know what that was, I'm sorry, but it's been a minute since I made a video, about 7 days, and I have moved. As you can see, I'm not in the place that I normally am in. Well, normally you don't see me. Well, sometimes you do, but I'm not at home. That's the point. I moved. I'm in my new apartment slash dorm slash whatever you want to call it, and a lot of people liked my past video that I put out, the Spider-Man PS4. Whoa, the Spider-Man PS4 video thing. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then you can check that out. You know. And it's part 1, and part 2 will be made. It will be. I just got to finish editing it and making it. But yeah, a lot of people liked it, and I did not forget. I am going to release part 2, and I'm going to do the whole thing. And I did not forget about the Amazing Spider-Man 3. I actually have it right here to prove that it has been written. It was written like a year. I wrote it last year, so like it's already done. It's just ready. I just got to record it and edit it, and it takes a long time to edit those type of videos, so bear with me. I guess my thought process is, well, you know, I might as well just put the thing that I was supposed to do, since I'm past the deadline, might as well, you know, put that back and start something new, you know, and leave this unfinished and come back to it, because that makes sense. Yeah. Anyway, the point of this video is to talk about the story aspect of Spider-Man and Peter Parker in Spider-Man PS4. I am a fan of the character. I wouldn't consider myself the world's biggest fan, and I wouldn't consider myself the person that knows everything about the character, but I would consider myself a person that is very fond of the character Spider-Man. So like I have an understanding with this fondness of Spider-Man and Peter Parker, and there are certain ways that I feel as if the story should be told. Or at least the correlation between the two characters should be told. Notice I said two characters, Spider-Man and Peter Parker. That's a huge component, a huge thing when it comes to a story. I think that it's very important, and this should be in the Insomniac game. It's very important that there is that distinction between Spider-Man and Peter Parker. The world sees Peter Parker as a normal guy, and Spider-Man is this extraordinary being, this person that can pick up a car, this person that can web swing, this person that can climb on walls, you know, a person that we don't even know everything that he can do because he's this figure. That is what Spider-Man is, and there should be a distinction between him and Peter Parker. I think of like Superman, the Christopher Reeve Superman, how Clark Kent was distinctively different from Superman, you know, and that's how I feel like it should be in every incarnation. There should be that distinction, and I'm not saying Peter Parker should be a bumbling idiot. What I'm saying is that there should be a distinction between the two people, and Peter Parker being, and now I'm referring to the Insomniac game, him being a 23-year-old Spider-Man, him being Spider-Man for a number of years, that understanding should be internalized, meaning he should know that when he is Peter Parker, that he is not Spider-Man. I'll delve even deeper. If something is coming toward Peter Parker, his SpiderSense goes off. There should be the conversation or the internalization, internalized thought process of, do I move out of the way or do I not? Like SpiderSense in some incarnations, like in the films, Spider-Man sees what's coming at him, so he sees it's a fist or he sees it's a bullet. In other incarnations, it's just danger. Like, why is something's happening? I need to move out of the way. So depending on the SpiderSense that we get, you know, that really, I think of this in the game, it would be SpiderSense, you're in danger. And I think that whenever, so I'll delve even deeper, that way I can make my point as understandable as possible. If Peter Parker is walking and a ball is coming in his direction, Peter Parker SpiderSense will go off, and he may move out of the way, but he won't, you know, like Spider-Man. You know, there should be that distinction, that physical distinction between the two, and Peter Parker should understand that there needs to be that physical distinction. Again, I'm not talking about like Clark Kent was a bumbling idiot. I'm just talking about the difference between somebody that is a gymnast that does a flip and the difference between somebody that is not a gymnast and does a flip. The difference between somebody that has learned martial arts and knows how to fight and somebody that has learned how to fight from watching television or from getting basic training. That's what I'm talking about. There should be that distinction. And now bringing it to the game, that distinction should be made especially clear in the mission structure. Now, in my game series, what am I called? My story. So whenever there are missions or segments in the game, this is again my story. When you play as Peter Parker, that gameplay is different as it pertains to the mission structure, as it pertains to the controls, how I am envisioning. Because again, I'm not creating the game, I'm just creating my own story for the game and scenarios. But in the part that I already released, and there are other parts, of course, and other parts in which you play as Peter Parker, you have been picking up boxes, putting boxes down. There's been a lot of conversation, a lot of dialogue, and things like that. And you've been helping out, you know, walking around, stuff like that. Like there should be that distinction, that physical distinction. Spider-Man, when you push the thumbstick forward, should run. Peter Parker, when you push the thumbstick forward, should walk. You get what I'm saying? There should be that distinction between the two. Now, from a story element, Insomniac has talked about how it's very interesting when Spider-Man and Peter Parker's lives intertwine or whatever. And I think that that's great. However, I think that the intertwining of them should always feel different. Like, for example, when Peter Parker and Spider-Man, when Peter Parker is affected by Spider-Man, it should have a different feeling than when Spider-Man is affected by Peter Parker. Spider-Man being affected by Peter Parker should be emotional. It should be something emotional. You didn't get to this place because you were being Spider-Man, and as a result, this happened. Then, on the other side, whenever there is Peter Parker being affected by Spider-Man, did I say that? I don't know. Whenever there's Peter Parker being affected by Spider-Man, there should be this physical form of it, right? Peter Parker can't do something because he's hurt. Or Peter Parker can't get to this place because he's in that place. You get what I'm saying? There should be that intertwining, that clashing, that butting of scenarios. So like, here's an example. And I'm not going to give something that I want to do in part 2. But what if there's a mission, right, when you were Spider-Man, and because of that, something happened when you were Peter Parker? Now, again, I think Insomniac they're going to kind of go down that route. At least I'm going to go down that route in my story. But I really think about like the gameplay aspects of it when you're Peter Parker being not. I don't think Insomniac's going to do the choose what you want to say. But I think of it more like Uncharted, the slow sections of Uncharted, or slow sections of any Naughty Dog game, or any game where you're conversing. This computer, when you're conversing, you know, when you're so it's like you doing different tasks and conversation happening. So that's what I really think about, like how I think they'll handle it, how I think they should, and yeah. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below. What's going on with me? The symbiote's taking over. Thank you all for watching. Part 2 will be up soon. When I get time. I am currently at college, and I've moved in, and I'm at college so early because I'm an RA, you know, which is great. So more or less time. And yeah, so let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. As always, thank you guys for watching. I'm Benjamin. Hit the like button if you like the video. Subscribe if you're new, and peace out. Peace. Stay tuned for part 2 and for Amazing Spider-Man 3 and for live stream happening soon.